Hello.
Enter and welcome to Rens Red Room on the Head Nerds in Charge Network.
Hello, and welcome to Ren's Red Room. I am your host, Ren, and I have this lovely guest right here. You could introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Jazz. Many of you know me as Miss Giselle on most of the social media that I have. I'm happy to be here and let's get into it.
Okay. From last week having a male vibe, I love having female vibes today. It's like I need that female energy right now from
Last week, like I said, I enjoyed it very much, but I was fuming like you were talking about. I was fuming. I was like, y'all gonna hear what I gotta say. I was just like, not today. And then I fell asleep and I felt better the next day, but still. I was like, I fell asleep anyway, but still.
Yeah, my show on late. So.
No, I really try to be on, like I said, support, our people. That's what we do. And I'm trying to support as much as I can, but I ain't gonna lie, I be falling asleep waking up. I was like, who is yelling in my ear? It's me. It's just the videos. But I love it.
I really appreciate the support, and appreciate the love and love right back at you, girl.
Love that.
Okay, so today I wanted to talk about was like the Chris Brown Usher situation because more information is coming out every single day. A lot of people was wondering what happened. Well, what happened was apparently so Chris Brown's birthday was last weekend in Vegas. So pretty much what happened, it was an incident that involved what's that girl's name? I forget her name. Who?
Chrissy girl. Is that the one I'm talking about? What's her name?
The girl who played Kanye West's music video when she was all Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, so there we go.
Tiana Taylor. Yes, she is. And she got an amazing body. She got me feeling hurt about my stomach right now.
I don't care. I want to admire myself, so I'm good. I'm like, yay, girl, eating everything I want, chilling right. And so when I'm working out, doing everything I got to do, because in the end, we all beautiful. So I'm just waiting on it. I love the energy. I'm supportive.
So Tiana Taylor went to the party. I don't think she was invited because it was Chris Brown's party, but she obviously somebody invited her. But Chris Brown was just like, "Girl, what you doing here?" Apparently they don't like each. Well, Chris Brown don't like her, and it's because of a concert that they were supposed to have on TV that got canceled because she canceled the event. So it was supposed to be both of them doing it together, like a Michael Jackson tribute type thing. Yeah, so because she canceled, Chris Brown got canceled, and because of that, they thought it was more like a scandal, like, oh, TV don't want Chris Brown on, and blah 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 blah.
Okay, so it got him looking at.
Yeah.
Wow.
So pretty much Chris Brown was like, "What you doing here?" and got upset, and Usher was just like, "Bruh, calm down. It just relax. It's not that serious." And that's pretty much just what happened. This is a simple argument. Now they saying because it's all alleged because Chris Brown and Usher still haven't said nothing yet, and they were performing at the Lovers and Friends concert, like so. They're not saying nothing, but apparently Chris or Usher pushed each other. I'm sure Usher was just trying to calm Chris down, just like relax, bro. It's your party, enjoy yourself. And Chris Brown like, no, you're out of here, type of situation.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what the whole fuss is supposedly about, allegedly. So,
So side note with that stuff. So I have a love hate relationship with both of those individuals. So Usher loved him until he cheated on Chili. I know this is a billion years later, but that broke my heart. So I was like, never again. Your music is a bop, but still. Chris Brown, I got beef with because of the whole situation back in the day. But Rihanna and the abuse that he so goes out with. So anytime his name comes up, I'm like, like I don't even care. I'm not even giving you my energy, my money, my nothing. But this did, like, I did hear some things about it, and I was just like, I hope Usher punched him in the face. Like, I hope it was that. That didn't happen, but it's wild though because if that was a situation where Usher is pretty much being like, "Yo, calm down," I feel one thing as somebody who deals with a lot of anger issues. I feel like when you're that famous, when you got money, you don't need to just walk away, do what you got to do. Especially when it comes to somebody who ain't really doing next to you besides existing. Chill
right.
out. You can be upset and offended. It's your party. You could have kicked her out. You could have did all that. Why are you so upset? Why were you trying to make even more? Where Usher had to get involved and like chill the fuck out. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Chris Brown to have an anger issue. Like that's apparent. Like so, a lot of people love to see him. Oh, he in the news attacking another woman, type of thing. And on one side, I get like a lot of people don't like Chris Brown because of the whole Rihanna and Karuchi brand situation. So which is understandable. He's a hot-headed person. Like he really would punch a person in the face if the opportunity came about. He don't care about it. But it's like Chris, you should care a little bit about it. Like, come on now, bro. You got too much to lose in life for you to really just be out here acting a fool like this. I get it's your party. I would be the same way. I'll be upset. Probably not fight nobody. I will talk first unless they start swinging first. But but if I'm
No, I agree. I agree with that because the situation being at the end of the day, you got too much money, you have too much to lose, and you already have bad history with certain things, regardless of how anybody looks about it, the way it should be viewed in a sense. Like, it's your party, you can do whatever you want to do. If you really feel strongly enough to kick her out, then kick her out. You could
right,
have did that. You could have like just de-escalated the whole situation by yourself. You have all right as any individual to have any type of emotion or feeling that you want. You could be mad, you could be sad, you could be whatever, but not to let it jeopardize your career, your money, your bag, whatever, just for 2 seconds of anger. No, I'm sorry, like you have so much, like you were saying, so much to lose. Like you can be more jeopardizing your income, your name.
right.
Why are you doing it? If for 2 seconds of anger, get out of here.
He needs therapy because it makes no sense. Like he's been in and out of jail for years now, and now he's just been stable. Like we haven't seen him in jail, we haven't really seen him crazy like that, news like that recently. But still, relax.
You see that though. I'm happy to see that he's not in the media in such negative light anymore, like he was. Because I love success for a POC person with money and power to an extent to not be in a negative light.
Right,
Take that opportunity and rebrand yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, to kind of dictate and show a better light into yourself. Because in the end, it's only about you at the end of the day. And your
right,
feelings, everybody's feelings is valid. Everybody's anger and emotions and all that is valid. So we get that. But again, don't jeopardize your progress.
right. Oh man, Chris, I hope you listening, bro. Because honestly, calm down. Like it's not that deep. I get it's your party. It's like it's my party. I can cry if I want to, type of thing. He didn't want her there. He has every right to say get the hell out. And they was just like, come on, chill. So that's just pretty much what happened. But he was in the right to say get out, but it's the wrong way he went about it. That's just all it is, you know. But I wanted to talk about these Disney movies, man. Like
Let's go. Let's go. I was waiting. I've been talking all day about it.
okay.
I'm just like, let me tell you, like, it's wildin'. Because I love Disney. Grew up with Disney. Most of us did.
Yes.
But I'm also like a rabbit hole type of person. So once I start going, if I start falling in love with one thing, I look at the mythos, I look at everything, and then I start like timelining shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like my main beef, I guess, you ever meet me again, like, and we have this conversation out of here in the future, whatever, I will still to this day die on that thing about Ariel. And Ariel, not our new one. I'm talking about the digital one, the animated one. I fucking hated her and everything
Okay.
she was doing. There's a reason because she was man. We'll get into it. I can't.
No.
That's just
So what was your favorite Disney movie as a kid?
well. Beast was king. Loved him. Wanted him. I could change him. Okay. When he turned into the white guy, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, fine. Like, call me what you want. I don't give a shit. I love him. I can
You in
change
the
him.
bestiality, girl? Okay.
Yeah, you know what? If I gotta do what I gotta do, I would have been princess. I'm a whole enchanted castle. I'm okay. I don't gotta clean. I don't gotta cook. They do it for me. I'm
Right.
good. Oh, it's all good. It's Gucci. I'm fine. We'll make it work.
Yes, I get it. I mean, Beast was fine, and that aggressive energy was like, okay, okay, you gotta
And then
tell
when
me.
she got, yeah, but see, what made me for him was when Belle got in his face. It was like, well, you got to cut your shit. And he
Yeah,
was like, I'm like, that's what you need. That's what you need in your life, baby. It's me. I can do that for you. Because you're not going to talk to me like that.
right? Yo,
So,
don't get me started because I'm getting hot and thinking about it. Like, hold up, like,
I remember, like, being enough and just looking at him like, what are these feelings? And watching as adults, that's what that is. I'm okay with it, and I'm okay. That's it.
okay. Well, mine was Aladdin. I loved Aladdin. I don't know what it was about him, but it was just the magic carpet ride, that song, the whole new world. It was just so
Beautiful.
romantic. I was just like, oh my God, like I need a man to show me the world. That's the
Exactly.
premise. Like show me something
Mhm.
different. Like
Exactly.
that's what I loved about it. And it's like my friend was like, oh, he was lying.
Yeah, you can change him though. You can be, you know what I'm saying? You can be that challenge that he needs to progress because he did lie. He did lie,
He did lie.
but he needed to. It was a survival thing. See, somebody that she couldn't understand was because she was a princess and never had to deal with that. He
Right.
did. So boom, and like I said, I dive deep into like the Broadway shows connections, all that type of stuff, and the album to the Broadway collection for Aladdin. You get so much more information about his life and background when you're like, damn. First of all, wait a minute, Aladdin Kazim, his dad. Can we talk about that? Did you see that one?
Yes.
You know,
It was the King of Thieves one.
yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
ma'am. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can change him too. Maybe I have I'm just realizing this. I like me some complicated men.
Man, no man can change unless he wants to change. But maybe you
So
can make him change. Maybe.
yeah, I want to be that inspiration he needs. You know what I'm saying? I can be that inspiration, and if not, I'm gonna wild out, and that's your fault, not my fault. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, but let's get to the lying part with Aladdin. Like I get it. He was a thief though.
Mhm,
He had to, like you said, it was survival back then. He was what is it? A street rat, a poor
yeah.
man. So
hmm
you think he wanted to be in that life? No, he was born into that life. His father was a king of thieves. His mom was nowhere to be found.
hmm
So he had to struggle to live and survive. Now it's problematic because nobody should be lying for no coochie, but
True.
but
But
men do
see, here's the thing.
it.
No, but here's the thing, and this is why I redeem him for that because he didn't just want the coochie, right? He loved her. He
Yes,
said that shit from the gate. He was like, "Damn, I love her, but she just so happens to be the princess."
right.
And it was just like one of those things where I was just like, "Oh, that makes sense." The whole thing is sometimes a little wobbly here, but I was just like, he loved her.
Yes.
The whole situation though, he should have, once he got in the palace, like, hey, yo, here's your situation, and this is what happened, this is what I did. Even when he caught her, when she caught him and was like, hey, yo, what about a boo? And he's like, ah, yeah, fuck. You could have, I was like, oh, I really am a prince. Bro, she's a princess.
Right.
You're in her kingdom. You think she wouldn't have known? And she fucking bought that shit. She was in love with him. She was like,
Again,
oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes fucking sense.
I want a man to do extra to get me. Yeah, be extra. Do whatever you gotta do. I mean, I'm gonna be like Jasmine, like I know this from your words that you're lying. Okay. She wasn't stupid enough to not know, bruh. I remember you. Like you said this before. This just can't be a coincidence. So men lie all the time, but you get context clues. You know you lying. You lying.
Exactly.
And
That's the thing I was like, Jasmine, girl, what's good?
Yes. So tell me about your Beauty and the Beast. What did you love about it? What did you hate about it?
So Beauty and the Beast, I love the whole situation of like the daughter being the weirdo of the thing. First of all, burn that whole village. Fuck all y'all. Because she was like, they're a bunch of weirdos. Bro, he's an inventor. Like, I get back in the day, that was a situation, like, you're a weird person because of God or whatever the hell the issue was.
Yeah.
But it was just like, first of all, he's an inventor. He's going to travel. Gaston was a fucking creep.
He was.
Straight rapey. Like, not even rapey ass. Like, I'm in your house. Why are you in her house? She had to leave. Like, get out of here for that. That whole situation where they treated her like shit because she was like brainy, like she like reading. Women can't be smart, okay.
Right.
And then she gave up herself for her father. She's like, "Hey, yo, my dad fucked up. He did get on your property. He did do all that, even though your servants did invite him in.
It did.
Did okay, but that we're not going to talk about that. And he's like, I'll just take it on for you. Don't worry about it. And he's like, I like women. And Mrs. Potts is like, yeah, this is great. And we're like, yo, bro, it's like, y'all not questioning any of this situation. Like, he really did kidnap her. But I did like the fact that they're like, yeah, nah, bitch, you're not staying down there. You're gonna have your own room. You're gonna be chilling. You're gonna be vibing. It's fine. And then she was like, I hate everything, and I'm so sad. And I was just like, I get why you're sad, but you're in a castle. Like, you can't piece it together. I figured that shit out as a kid. I was like, flash picture on the wall. Okay, not to go to the West Wing. That might be emotional for this man. Let me think about this. The gray stuff is delicious. I don't know, because he's Gucci here, and all she had to do was come to dinner.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but girl, he still kidnapped this girl. Like he still kidnapped her. That's yes. If I was politely asked into the castle, I should have had to give up my body in order to have my father survive. But okay, this is where we are right now. So yes. But it was nice of him to be like, you don't gotta sleep in no dirty dungeon. You can sleep in this nice fancy bed, and you can come down for dinner and this and that and the third. Like, oh. So
and then they fell in love and bullshit. But here's another kicker: if you gotta look at it from the other side. So again, I dive deep into weird shit when it comes to these mythologies and shit. So if you think about the movie, how old was the king or beast when he turned into the beast? He was a teenager, like a child. He was left home by himself. He's spoiled. He don't know shit. And this crazy random which person comes right on in, and she's like, "Hey, yo, you want this rose for lodging?" He's like, "Fuck you, old lady. I don't give a fuck about you." First of all, stranger danger. Okay, so he did it right. He was like, "Fuck out of my kingdom," and then she cursed him. He was a child, like he was a teenager, like he was mentally stuck, growth. Like you know what I mean?
That was a setup.
That's what I'm saying. So can I really understand? No, not really. But still, like, could I get the idea of why he did what he did? Why? Because he's not there. He doesn't get. He's still very juvenile. That's why he acts what he does. He needs somebody like me to take care of him and figure out his life. And be like, you gonna fucking get this shit if you don't fucking get your shit together.
Right.
And that was wrong. So like, again, it's just a wild concept because that is very Stockholm syndrome. She did fall in love with him for what reason? Because he really didn't do much for her.
Right. I mean, I get the premise. He was a spoiled brat. And this woman just was giving him a rose. He could have took the rose and be like, "Thank you for the gift," because it was a party. So it's like, "I brought you a rose, thank you." And he's like, "A rose,
Like,
bitch, I'm rich. The fuck? Where's the diamonds at? Where's the Gucci?"
Exactly. And you ugly too, bitch. I was like, whoa, bro. I was like, you can at least be nice to old lady. Shit. You
Yeah,
first of all, Mrs. Potts is an old woman. Why were you not like? Did you? She treated you like a son. Like you tell me you couldn't like. Oh wow, let me be better to her because she's old. Nah, fuck out of here. You got no manners. You
none at
deserve it.
all.
You
None at
better
all.
now.
Like I love the part when she don't want to come down for dinner. Then she go ahead and starve. I was like, oh,
And she came out. Like, yeah, okay. And
and
the
she
house did not listen. The house did not listen. It was like, nah, you're not gonna start this bitch. We need her. We need to get back to our human soul. Fuck
right.
out of here.
Yo, that movie sound problematic to me right now because it's like,
That's what I'm saying.
y'all really
It was
use Belle. Like y'all really use Belle. And I get y'all wanted to be human again, but y'all really did try to manipulate this girl into falling in love with this man. So it's that's kind of weird, but it's so sweet.
so no, the movie's still sweet. Do I still get mad at the ending? Yeah, because I don't like the way he looked. Adam, his name is Prince Adam. I don't know if that's 1,000%. I was like, I don't fuck with Prince Adam. Fuck that guy. Like I don't. He beast. Fuck that. He was better. We could have changed, and we can go hunting together. Like he can hunt me shit, and wolves are not gonna fuck with us. I love that.
Listen, I don't see Belle running, so it's like, yes, honey, yes, I'm rich. I'm a princess now. I'm rich.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck that. You gotta put a saddle on that man and start and go do what you gotta do. I ain't doing shit. She can visit her dad. She can visit her dad. I'm just saying.
all
But
right, so the Little Mermaid. Now tell me if you got an issue with the Little Mermaid. Come on, now.
so we know the first Little Mermaid. First of all, have you seen all the Little Mermaids?
Not all of them. I seen
so
the one. I seen like the daughter one. I seen the beginning one. I seen the little pieces of here and like there, but she got like 5 or 6 of them. Like,
yeah. Well, she has 3 movies. The animated series was delicious, and I'm going to show you my other future husband in that show. Manta Ray, oof, love that man. He was bad. Like he was all types of trouble, but I still wanted him. But who was it? So my beef was, if you follow the timeline, Ariel is 16 years old,
yes,
right? So if you follow from the Ariel's beginning, Little Mermaid, and then Melody's story, whatever the daughter shit, which doesn't is really irrelevant. The Ariel's beginning goes into the story of how Triton, his wife, and their children, and the whole kingdom of Atlantica was popping bottles, having fun, loving life. He was happy singing with his children, his wife. Okay, boom, they're on the alcove. They're chilling for their anniversary.
right.
A pirate comes and kills the mom in front of the children, in front of Triton. Ariel's a little baby fish at this point. Like she don't really fucking know what's going on. But the other daughters know. So whatever. So it goes into him. The king is grieving his wife. The family is grieving. Ariel is now she's like 16 or about to be 16 towards the beginning of the movie. And she, Prince Triton, since he's in King Triton, since he's grieving, he cut all music and everything out for everybody to be like, I can't be reminded of my wife anymore. Like I'm not dealing with that. So toxic, yeah, but I get the thing that it was his love of his life.
Right.
So Ariel's bitch ass is like, fuck out of here. I don't care why dad don't want us to listen to music. I'm gonna go fucking go singing and dancing and do some hood shit and go hang out with my friends, and I'm gonna do that. So again, this is against the law. So the whole story in short, she gets her sisters roped into it. Triton finds out he's going fucking ballistic. Ariel makes him see the errors of ways and goes, you know what? Maybe we'll bring music back because even though I lost my wife, I pushed you guys away, so I want you to come back. Now they're doing concerts and music and everything. Now open the first scene of Little Mermaid. What are they doing? They're having a concert.
Right.
So this is right after he said, you know what, Ariel, you're right. I'm going to let you guys express yourself and have music and she doesn't fucking show up.
Yo, that's right. Like that makes
And
sense.
she's fucking going somewhere else to go hang out with fucking human shit
Yes.
and people who don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
And then be like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad, I forgot about that. And I'm just like, wait a minute, didn't you just like fight a whole movie to have this moment with your dad and have him see the aerial waves, and the first thing you do is slap him in the face?
Right. I
Wow, that's
mean, that
wild.
just sounds like a teenager to me. Like, do you have
Yeah,
kids? That sounds like a teenager
no,
shit.
no, it does, but I think it's like the understanding
Yeah.
of it's just a crazy situation because now, like, even though she's a teenager, and also like you said, she's the youngest, so she really doesn't have that much connection with the mother. She doesn't really understand the grieving process of it because the other sisters did, and the other sisters explained it to her like, yeah, but you don't get it. First of all, you look just like our mother, and you're putting yourself in fucking danger. You're putting dad through fucking PTSD every 2 fucking seconds.
Right.
So, and again, that shouldn't be put on her, but it's still like, how can you win something and then be like, I didn't really care for it in the first place.
Mm.
You fought so hard for it, and then again, you're putting your family and your dad especially, who kept it together as most part. Like he had to still continue running the country or the community, the kingdom. Still had to make sure your asses were alive and not dead.
Right.
And you fucking just like, oh well, I just want to marry, this I'm about to say white guy again.
Yeah.
The fucking prince
Well,
guy.
they are supposed to be white. They are supposed to
They
be white.
are white. Yeah, no, definitely. So this white guy randomly, and then I'm just like, okay. And then like the end of the movie, I was just like, okay. And then when she had Melody, I still didn't get any of that either. Her daughter, I was just like, why won't you tell her she's a fish? I don't get it. Well, she can't know because she wants to go to the sea. Okay.
Okay, so that let me break this down from all your information. Okay, Ariel was a child, so like you said, she didn't know no better. She don't know nothing. Like I have a preteen right now, about to be a teenager. Me and her bump heads all the time because she wants to be her own person. That's pretty much what it is. And as a parent, you're supposed to protect your child. When I tell you no, it's a reason. It's not to hurt you, it's because I love you. But like you said, try and realize like it's just music. So it's like, of course, he has like trauma from it because he lost his wife when they were singing and being happy and love. So it's painful for him to hear music because it's like it reminds him of the love that he lost. But he had realized like I can't pour my trauma into my kids. So, let them do the music. And then, like you said, they had the concert and then she don't show up. Like, girl, what? You asked for all this and then that sounds like a kid to me too. It's like
it's like she didn't really understand the grasp of the whole thing after going through it. So it's like one of those things like if you ever watch like any type of sitcom and it doesn't really continue and connect. So it's like, wow, you had this heartfelt moment and you guys learned a lesson and everything is great. The next morning you don't even know that same person you went on that journey with. And I'm like, what the fuck was the point of that? You just ripped my heart out. And for what? Like, what was the point?
Right. But yeah, that's just like teenager stuff to me because my daughter be asking like, "Mom, can you buy me this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" And then I do it, and then she's not interested in it. Like it just sounds like some kid stuff. But the Melanie situation. So I guess Ariel feels trauma from that situation because she fought so hard, literally lost her voice, lost her fins, lost her life in order to be human, to be with this man. So her trauma is now pouring onto her kid. It's like, I fought so hard to get here. I don't want to go back. Like she literally almost died. She almost killed her family. She almost killed the ocean. So why would she want to go back to something so dramatic? So that's probably why she was like not telling Melanie what was going on because the sea is dangerous, and she knew that. And she knew she almost killed everybody. So I'm sure some of the fish is looking at her like she crazy, like okay, all this because you wanted some human dick. We almost died. Like,
you didn't even fuck him yet, bro. He was okay with you not talking the whole time. And you're like, I love him though. Like, So how though?
But that's sweet though. Like he really
Yeah,
loved her personality, I suppose. So
yeah,
it's like she didn't talk, but she didn't really need to talk because he was just like, I feel a connection with you, which is cute. But it's like
yeah,
Chris Eric, like he was old too.
yeah, ma'am. They were all like the wives in these Disney movies are usually a lot younger than the prince. And who was like that other one too? Who was the other one that was like really fucking creepy? Oh shit, Cinderella, like the whole Cinderella shit again with all the movies connected. I cannot. I was like, so you really forgot what she looked like? Oh, I didn't know that was her. I'm like,
I
how?
mean, how didn't you, bruh? He was on that sauce. That's just what it was.
Really? First of all, this is love, and then you forget her. I was like, wow, wow, that's wild. How
But
many bitches got silver dresses? Nobody has silver dresses. Whatever, that's
right. I mean, in a glass shoe, like he knew something was up because it was like nobody really wears a glass shoe in this century. So it's like,
fine. So
but
exactly.
so part two of Cinderella was stupid. They was just little stories about each character in the movie. But part three
Yeah,
was
what was her name? The sister, Anastasia. Her glow up though. She was getting that story. I was proud of her. But go ahead, I'm sorry. I was excited.
yeah, that was cute. Um, but part three, like you said, with the slipper. So Anastasia,
Mm,
um, well, the stepmother and the stepsisters found the fairy godmother's wand. So
okay.
they took the wand and reversed everything from what happened with Cinderella and the prince. So
Okay.
they stopped it right at the part where the prince servant came to the house to try the shoe on all the girls. So
Okay.
Anastasia was the first person to get the slipper.
Mm,
So he tried to put on the slipper. The servant put on the slipper and it didn't fit. So the stepmother made the slipper fit. And
okay.
everybody was in shock because like, oh, this the girl that the
Yeah.
prince with?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like I don't remember her being a redhead, but okay. That's wild.
So fast forward, Anastasia comes to the prince house, and the prince was looking like, well, where's she at? So he did know a little bit like, I
Mm,
know she don't look like that.
yeah. So they get him fully. Because that's wild to think about that shit. But
Mm,
the music again is about a lot of it. Some is very semi like what's that word, country? Some of that shit was country, but I be living for it. Like the AMVs they were making for that shit was
mm.
delicious. I was eating that shit up. I was like, oh my god, yes, I love that shit. I don't like that artist, but I love this video. It's delicious. Love it because it shows like their love. I do. I'm a sucker for romance. That
Yeah,
love, that at the end, I need it. I need it. What was the point of this whole struggle? You know what I mean?
right.
So yeah, it feels it. It feels it.
Yeah, but yeah, all these Disney movies and some of these movies that they play back now on Disney Plus all have disclosure. Like it's just like
Oh,
it's some times that we lived in. They said one movie that they felt like with the Little Mermaid that they felt like the kiss was inappropriate or something. Like they felt
she's
like
a child because she's a
it.
child.
Yeah.
But
So
it was oh, go ahead.
what you think about the new movie that's supposed to come out? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm excited. Me and
Mm.
my group are actually hosting like not hosting an event, but like we're setting up a meetup so we can all dress up and go. I'm excited.
Okay.
Again, I support all POC, all that shit. I'm trying to live extra large in that shit. Like let's go take my money. You know, I already got a doll for it and everything like that. I didn't get to have the little plushie one of one of the sisters. I was
Mhm.
excited. I think her name was like Perla or something. So I'm bringing that shit with me like it's my child.
I mean,
Um,
your hair kind of looks like Ariel right now. Is it red?
oh
Oh
yeah, it
my God.
has red like black and then red. But yeah, like I'm excited for it. I think the live actions always like kind of creep me out for a lot of things because I'm so used to the I don't want to say perfection, but like the nostalgia of the
Right.
child stuff. But I'm trying to see how they're gonna redo this. I love the fact that the sisters are all multiracial. Like they're not just like one white fish bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everybody. It makes sense. Like Caribbean ski, all that stuff. It makes sense to me. I love that. If it reminds me of, have you ever seen Happily Ever After Children Tales Told Another Way or something like that. It was the HBO show.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
The Little Mermaid version of that. It was like set in China, like China Sea. Delicious. Loved it. Fucking loved that show. It's really cute. So I like the fact that they're broadening out. I feel like a lot of the cast looks good as
Mhm.
far as what the story might be, but it's really you have to be there. Like I have to experience it firsthand and see if I really hate it or not.
Right. And people, like you said, the older generation, the one that remembers the original Disney's version of Little Mermaid, they feel like, oh, what's this crap? That's why it's a lot of backlash to it. It's not just because she's a African American mermaid. It's the nostalgia that you remember
Yeah,
her being white. So
yeah,
why y'all trying to switch it now? And
yeah.
listen, I
Mhm.
don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna have my daughter come see it. I don't like none of the live action Disney
Yeah,
movies that they remake. I don't know why they keep remaking them instead of just coming with new ideas. But let's think of this, people. Disney did not create the Little Mermaid. They
yeah,
didn't create the story Little Mermaid. They just
mhm.
made their own version of the story. So
Yeah,
she
exactly.
can be black, she can be Asian, she can be whatever. It's a fairy tale story.
Hmm.
So give it a chance if you want to give it a chance,
Yeah,
and base your opinion on that. If my daughter says she doesn't like it, then I'm just know it's not going to be a good movie. Like,
sure. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand too, because I get the whole, as somebody who loves history, loves, like I said, the original, like Grimm Tales, all that stuff. Like, I always argue with people. Well, not always. I try to stop arguing with people online. But it's one of those situations where it's like when they use the fact that she's a black woman now, and they're like, well, and it's actually a Danish, blah 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 blah, and they're white, and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I get it, but then why were you not upset at the Disney's rendition of it when she didn't die at the end? Why
mm,
were you not there for that conversation where Ursula was like, "Hey yo," well the Sea Witch was like, "Hey yo, if you want to stay on land," because her objective wasn't love at the time; it was to stay on land. And then she fell in love with the prince. So when she fell in love, the thing was to kill him, to cut
mm,
his heart out so she could stay. And then she couldn't because she loved him so she died. So
okay,
I was just like, so how come you weren't like? I would get that argument if they were also mad about that, but they weren't. So I was just like,
right.
you don't know the story then. You're either just being racist or closed minded.
It's pretty much
Yeah,
racist and ignorance.
yeah,
But like you said, like honestly, all these movies, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, all these movies had terrible, sad endings.
mhm,
These stories was based on a
mhm,
time where everybody was depressed, and they
yeah,
made stories to get out of their own life and fantasy. But like the Hunchback of Notre Dame was supposed to be based off a true person who had a blind eye, fell in love with Esmeralda, but Esmeralda fell in love with the white guy, and he tried to kill this person, and they killed Esmeralda. Like that's the story.
yeah,
But like it was all like think of it like as Romeo and Juliet type of stuff.
yeah.
This was the time around there where everybody was dramatic with their arts and their books and movies. Everybody
And
died
well,
in the
that was
movie
the
back then.
entertainment, and and I think a lot of people forget too is that like when we think about these fairy tales in general, like the actual fairy tales, like who was it like Snow White? We're thinking about Little Mermaid, and what's the other one everybody loves? Rapunzel. They're nothing connection of what we know now.
Right.
They are past, and they represent like even what is that the big one? Red Riding Hood. That is something totally different from what that we automatically think about a girl going to see her grandmom. It's more than that. It's about her being kidnapped. The red thing is supposed to represent her becoming a woman because she's a teenager and had her first time, whatever. And she's just like, oh, this is great. I'm just gonna go see my grandma when she gets killed or gets eaten. She gets eaten because it's a man who attacks her.
Right.
And people are like, oh, well, no, it's an innocent story. It's not an innocent story. It's not. And none of these stories, they're meant to teach people, because education was not a big thing back then. So these
Right.
stories get passed down to entertain, to go through tradition, to trying to teach. the masses at the time that these are the connections to the moments in our life, historical events, so they can talk about it. Like well, not Red Riding Hood, Robin Hood, like that was a big thing for people. Like there's so many different things, and it's just like any other story that we read or have knowledge with is that the representation and interpretation could be different per person. Like I
Right.
can feel like this is a love story, but you can also feel that it's a toxic story. Being aware of the this type of love. Like I personally feel, what is that one? Romeo and Juliet, like you were saying. I don't like Romeo and Juliet. I felt like I understand the love premise and I thought it was cute, but then the fact that two people lost their lives over miscommunication. And
Right.
that was the story I got from it. It wasn't the fact that these two loved they loved each other so much. It was the fact that because people let anger and hatred that they didn't even know about why they hated each other to consume them like that, their children are lost.
Hmm.
And people who could have found love no longer can live because they're dead. I'm sorry. And if I saw my lover like that and I only knew him for like a week, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm sorry. I'm going to go somewhere. But I don't know. Maybe that time it was different because
Yeah, those
everything
times
got cut.
were different. Like we are now more aware of our, we got research. We can research how I'm
Yeah.
feeling. We have more like connections with people nowadays. Like you said, if I met somebody, dated somebody for a week and then he just
Mhm.
disappeared one day, I'm like, oh, okay, he just ghosted me. All right, on to the next. But back
Exactly.
in the day, because they didn't have all this stuff we got today, so it's like when they had a connection back then, they felt really connected. Like you mine now, we supposed to be together.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
that's just how the thought is. But yeah, all these fairy tales. If we go to the nitty gritty of the actual history of all these movies are tragic. Supposedly, like they
Yeah.
all have like bad endings and sad stories to it. So Disney can do whatever they want with it. They can make the next Little Mermaid Asian if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah. They should.
So
I'm
I'm
looking
just
for
waiting for
it.
the Princess and the Frog. That's all I'm still waiting for that.
Look, first of all, I'm living for it because my whole okay, and that's another Disney shit I gotta talk about in a minute. So Princess and the Frog, I like the fact that I don't like the fact that they tried. They didn't try hard enough. They could have gave her more. We could have cherished her character fully and not made her just a fucking frog for most of it. I want to cherish
Right,
her journey as the princess of getting like not just even the princess part of it, a strong woman who fought like she came from a background was about we're gonna work hard, we're gonna get that, and all they showed was her going through dumb shit. I'm
right.
tired of seeing POC, and I guess I have to be understanding of the fact that the time period, which also makes me sensitive to the situation. I like the fact that they showed the men being a piece of shit because Naveen, he was just like, I don't really care. Like, I just need to marry a bitch for money. Like, I don't give a shit. And I'm just like, bro, are you serious? Like, okay, just be okay with your parents and your parents are to pay for your shit, but whatever. Um, because it was the same thing. Like, I feel that we're getting to the right connection as far as more representation.
Mm,
So that's why I always try to whatever it is I'm trying to get into it because even like I don't know if you know about Princess she's called Princess Elena, but she's actually a queen
okay.
and it's a show on Disney, and she's supposed to be the first Latin princess.
Oh,
But they
right.
really, yeah. So this, and I was so excited about this. I watched it with my nephews and my nieces. Like it was so good. And then the thing that pissed me off, I was like, they kept repeating it because they only showed like 3 episodes, and
Mm,
it's more now. And I was like, why the fuck are you showing this in 3 episodes? Finds out is because it shows her start because you ever heard of the show called Sophia the First?
yeah.
Okay, so it's a little white girl, right? Little
Right.
white girl, and her mom marries a king, and now she's a princess and she's living life, and she's a cute little girl. I got no beef with her. However, I do have beef with is that she was the reason why Elena is out and about again because she was trapped by a curse, and she saved her.
Ah.
Yeah, so she saved her in the country. So
Mm,
now Elena can be a royal again with her sister and her family. But again, another issue. They also demoted her at the same time because she was supposed to be Queen Elena, and they were like, "Well, technically, you were frozen before coronation, so you're not a queen. You're just gonna still have to be."
wow.
And I was just like, "So what?" And I was like, okay, I'm still gonna support it because it matters, and we're gonna see what happens. And then it goes to her journey of first off, the art is really nice. They take aspects of all like Latin and Hispanic heritages, and they kind of mix it in a good like mix of it. So I do like that. I like a few of their voice actors are actually Latin people or Hispanic people, which I love. Um, but again, it was still the fact that we only exist because of a little white girl, and that
Mm.
pisses me off. And I
Well,
was just like,
Disney, we all know the Walt Disney, the creator of Disney and
yeah,
these movies that we love so much. He was kind of a racist. So
yeah,
this is why they like the Princess and the Frog, the first black princess they had, they didn't promote it. This was
yeah,
2009 this came out.
yeah,
I didn't know about this movie until maybe 2 years later, you know, and it was just like, oh, this is pretty good. So they
yeah,
really they trying to be with the times, but they slow with it because they so used to whitewashing everything. That's
yeah,
just
exactly.
the premise of it, which is crazy. But they definitely did good with a cantos. A canto,
Oh, Ponto,
yes,
yeah. I still listen to that album. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I like what they did with Turning Red. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I
yes,
love that again. We're getting more representation. We're getting more, of that. What we want to see. We grew up and we wanted to see people that look like us, people that talk like us, people that can go through the same traumas like we are doing. It's not, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations, but um, excuse me. I'm happy for it, and I'm always here to support it. Um, I'm trying to think, yeah, because Abuela, she could have got these hands. Because my grandma never, I'm never gonna put my hands on her. But that Abuela, boom, 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 like it's done. Because how dare you? You don't even got magic powers, bitch. Like who are you? Who are you? But it was just a lot of. I really did love that. I like the fact that they dealt with emotional and that perfection that children get when they want to try to
right.
be the best for their family and the people around them. That was gorgeous. Loved it. Um, music is a bop, so I'm always fucking with it.
Definitely. Every part of the soundtrack. But Bruno, we don't talk. I
Yeah,
was
no,
there. I was
yeah. No, I love this so much. I was actually listening to the Korean version, the Japanese version. I was listening to all the different versions, and it's a bop. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I thought it wow, let's go, bitch. I was like, let's go. I was like, this is nice. Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. I get it. Let's go. I was like, I
yeah.
love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy Disney is realizing and knowing their ways, the ways that they did in the past, and they are trying to. People, when you watch the new Little Mermaid, just know it's not going to be like it was back then, okay? Because they have to now put it more into today's world, and you just got to realize that it's not going to be what you think it is, but just be open-minded to it, folks. That's all I'm saying. Disney trying to fix it, y'all. They trying to fix it. But yeah, I think that's what we can talk forever with this, like.
Oh,
So I think that's all we're going to
wow.
talk about for now and today. But yeah, oh my God, you got me started. Like,
Uh, I'm always here to talk about it. Text me anytime. I'm like, let me tell you something. Like, da, 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 let's go.
definitely,
Like,
definitely, definitely. Maybe you and Chris can have a talk and we can debate all on that.
you don't want to smoke. I'm going. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay with not being the numbers person. I'm okay because it's about logic is more than that. And it's about the journeys that each individual person has had.
Right,
So I want to hear no other closed-minded BS about anything and to expect to me to look at you sanely. Like it's not gonna happen. So I was
right.
like, but it's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own thing. But if I'm gonna fight about it, I'm gonna fight about it.
And this is the perfect place to talk about it. About, because like you said, like, and statistic wise, they make black people to be a villain, and that's the point I was trying to make with Chris. Like, yeah, I get it. Y'all can go on the internet and type it in, but this is what it is. But that's not what it is. Everybody's experience is different, and this is what I want to say. Everybody can bring something to the table, but that doesn't mean you have to have everybody sit at your table. You got to be careful who you bring in your area and your space, because their energy connects with energy. Bad energy can connect to your energy, and then you having a bad day for no reason. We love you. Yes, thank you for coming. All right, that's all I'm gonna go say for tonight. Thank you, Jazz, for joining me, and I hope you see you next time, guys.
Bye.